We're on episode 3
of the J&J Show.
Quarantine edition.
Well, is it quarantine edition or just season 2? Season 2 get kicked off during the quarantine, and we're gonna just
but we're gonna keep doing it after the quarantine,
right? But we're not gonna label each episode the quarantine.
Well,
episode.
but we'll still be in season 2. So
yes, but season 2 is not the quarantine season. I hope.
No, that's why I've been saying quarantine edition for the episodes that are under quarantine.
Like 23 episodes later, we'll be like, yeah, this is the last episode of season 2. Season 2 is just called quarantine season.
Because we started it during the quarantine.
Started it back. When did did anybody?
Or because you feel like this is the J&J Show, episode 103, quarantine edition. This is our last episode because it's the end of the world.
We're on our last gallon of fuel in our generators. The radio is not working anymore.
We would still be doing the podcast,
and they're cracking down on ham radio operators. So, for those of you listening around the globe, this is our last broadcast.
So let's talk about Mexican food.
What are your favorite apps on your phone?
Hey, that's one of the talking points.
I know.
Oh, just good little segue.
So we have a fairly random episode today. We just wanted to talk about some things that are cool, some things that we've seen on.
We're winging it.
Some of the things we've seen on Facebook. Those of you who are still using Facebook. First of all, I want to get this out of the way. If you don't use Facebook anymore because you've outgrown it, or you've matured, or you've moved on to some other social platform that's more trending,
LinkedIn, right? That's where the professional people go.
Just shut up and keep it to yourself. I mean, it's starting to get to the point where Facebook is becoming the McDonald's of social media.
I've been saying that for years.
There's like there's like a billion people on it or something like that.
I've been saying
I don't know how many Facebook users there are. I'm gonna look. How many Facebook users are there?
That's crazy that you would think that, because I've been thinking that too. Like, low key, I only told a couple of people about it.
But it's just crazy because it's getting. I mean, the reason I say it's getting to be is because it always has one.
There's only 1.62 million people. Oh no,
2.45 billion monthly active users.
Well, what is that number? Why does it say 1.62 million?
All I know is that wouldn't even be I mean, you.
Oh, this is how many people are active every day.
If it had that much, then Mark Zuckerberg would be about as rich as the crazy Russian hacker guy from YouTube,
who has some pretty cool videos. By the way,
but 2.45 billion users worldwide. Monthly?
That's like a third of the
billion.
It's over a third of the population of the world.
And yet, recently, everybody I bump into, when I'm like, "Oh yeah, look us up on Facebook," I get this. We don't use Facebook, or like we're not into Facebook, or we stopped Facebook. And it's like,
and there's like that person that's like, yeah, I don't use Facebook. That's like for squares. I use this custom app that was invented by this dude in Sweden, and it's like super custom tailored to your personality.
In the whole world.
Yeah.
It's the only people using it are people who like to use their socks.
Social media snobs.
But it's just the point, like, some people will go out of their way to say how they don't use Facebook because, like, they want to put off this vibe that they're earthy and they're non-techie and they're out in the whatever. But then when they do mention what they're using, it's the most recent thing. And it's the most, like, oh, I use, I don't know. What's the new one?
I don't know if you have to be super techie to use Facebook.
No, but
it's like super easy.
They want to make it seem like I'm not in that group of those 2.45 billion people. It's that desire to be unique. And like, I'm not in that, because so many people are into Facebook now. There's people that are being like, I don't use it. Why? Because everybody else is using it. And it's like,
this mindset goes not just with social media. People are like that about everything.
It's
like
true.
About their
about
their clothes.
If you just don't care about what you wear, you're normcore.
It reminds me of that event we went to, the ministers event, when they got to talking about toothpaste. Remember that? The toothpaste thing? And then people were listing like their favorite brands or the brands they use.
Not people. Josh Dreyer.
Name dropping.
He gets up there. Everybody's just saying Crest, Sensodyne,
we love you, Pastor Josh.
Josh Dreyer jumps up and he's like, I use this, and this, and here's the website, and here, use my name to get a discount. Or I don't think he actually said that, but it was.
No, like... he did. But it's cool. It's cool sometimes, like, oh, it's neat. But if you do it with like certain things, you have to know when to do that.
Yeah. Well, the point is 2.45 billion people using Facebook. I don't believe that half the people I bumped into over the last month and a half all around the US that say they don't use Facebook, I call you liar, sir. I think you are using Facebook secretly, like when you're in the bathroom or it's like buried in some folder on your phone so it doesn't show up when somebody looks at your phone. You are using Facebook.
I will say too, like a lot of people don't just use Facebook. Like I use Facebook, but I also have an Instagram and I use other things as well. So it's not exclusively Facebook.
Right.
But it's not like I don't like Facebook. I just have other things that I go on.
And here's
too.
the best one too, is people who say they don't use Facebook, but they still keep their account open and they're on these new platforms like TikTok and they're using other stuff and they link their new flashy thing to their Facebook account that's because they know that's the only way they're going to get any views is to their Facebook account. So they'll post something and I don't use Facebook and it shows up on their Facebook account and you're seeing it from Facebook, but it's some other platform linking into Facebook.
It was Instagram like one of the first ones to do that because it was like when you share a post on Instagram, you can share it on Facebook too.
I don't know how far back it goes, but I seem to remember being able to cross-link MySpace and Facebook. when Facebook came first.
I missed the MySpace thing. I never had one.
I'm just saying, I seem to remember that. So I think that was always a thing as platforms develop. However, Instagram is now owned by Facebook, right? If you open up Instagram, doesn't it say Instagram by Facebook?
No.
Look. I thought it did.
From Facebook.
I did, yes! I told you they own it.
When did that happen?
They looked at like, hey, we're getting all these posts from this Instagram thing. Let's just buy it.
So I feel like Facebook and Instagram are like Infinity Stones now. And Disney's going to be like... Disney's gonna be eyeballing Facebook like, ooh, Facebook's taking over things. They're next for my gauntlet.
Oh my goodness!
And then all the social media will be controlled by Disney.
I don't see how. That's one of the things I don't understand in our country. When do things cross over into the line of monopoly?
Then they're gonna buy out like SpaceX. And, like,
I'm just wondering
companies.
because like Coca-Cola, for instance. If you ever look at the back of like you're eating something or drinking something that you would not think is related at all, and real small on the bottom, it's a Coca-Cola product or company. Yeah. It's like cheese mac and cheese by Coca-Cola. It's like I don't know, but
that's what when I was younger, I thought that Kraft cheese was like I thought they also had like crafts that they made. That was
like popsicle stick houses and stuff.
Yeah, cotton balls from Kraft because it was like. Why would you call your cheese brand Kraft when you...
It's the guy's name.
Oh, well, that's a weird last name. I'm sorry.
No, it is.
If your last name is Kraft, I'm sorry.
Remember, we had a landlord with the last name Crap? I think it had 2 P's.
I heard the story. I don't actually remember that. I think I was...
Back in the day, we had a landlord when we were renting as we were growing up, and the landlord's last name was CRAPP.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, so, Dad. I remember Dad telling me about that.
And I guess they didn't like each other. I mean, or there was not like they weren't best buds or whatever. And I mean, it's so easy at that point. You have to be really outgoing and nice to everybody if your last name is Crap because
or just change your name.
Or people are going to be like, oh, there goes Crap walking down the sidewalk. Or
you're Crap.
Hey, look, Crap's out there mowing his lawn. I mean, it's just. You're inviting the ridicule for the rest of your life. Or, okay, now which is worse? Do you become a horrible, mean person because you happen to be born with the name Crap and you've dealt with that your whole life and that's what makes you that way? Or did it just so happen?
Yeah, because your name, it was spoken over you since you were a baby.
It was prophesied.
You become...
You are Crap, so you will become...
How much would your parents have to not love you, though?
But it's their name, too.
But they could change it. Like, you know what? We're not going to tolerate this anymore. We're not going to take Crap anymore. So we're going to change our name for the sake of our children and our children's children.
You know what, honey? I'm sick of this Crap.
I just don't understand it. I know it's a family name or it's a last name, but at some point, something's got to give.
It's not something that you have to be proud of. It's not something to be like, Crap has been in our family for generations.
Exactly. You know, we could change it. Let's do it to like something else. I was like, let's change it to Creep.
I was going to say add an E with a little hyphen on it so it's Crepe.
Crepe.
Oh, man.
That's funny. So we talked about Facebook and Instagram. What are some other what are some other apps?
Well, I wasn't even thinking of it as an app. I was just thinking of the hypocrisy of it and the sheer audacity of like, it's like McDonald's. It's like, you know, Jim Gaffigan has that sketch where he talks about everybody says they don't go to McDonald's, but they still sell 1 billion burgers a day. Everybody says they don't use Facebook, but there's 2.45 billion users every month.
Jim Gaffigan's hilarious. I like that bit where he's like, the guy's like, I wouldn't be caught dead in a McDonald's. He's like, well, good. McDonald's wouldn't want you because you're a jerk.
Because you're crap.
He's like, I'm tired of people thinking that they're too good for McDonald's.
You know, I wonder how many times someone would have like they fill out a form for a job application, and if you're doing the interview and someone says, looks at the form, it says here your name is Mike. Really crap. I mean, how many times would you have to explain yourself every time you fill out a form? Every time, you know, it just seems to me like you're right.
I just would start telling people it's pronounced C-rap.
You know, or just when you become an adult, move out of your parents' home, then change it. Mm-hmm. But I wonder how many generations they've been putting up with that crap.
I don't know. But so the quarantine has been keeping us all, you know, looking for things to do and keeping us occupied. One of the games that I've been playing on my phone was actually introduced to me by you, and it was called The Battle of Polytopia. Now, if you haven't heard of this and you like fun, like short little strategy games, you should check it out. It's pretty fun.
If you want a game that you're going to be like, oh, I just finished that round, and then be like, new round, click, start another one.
It is the perfect game for when you're like, you know, when you're doing business in the bathroom and you've got some time to kill.
Do we want to use that as our benchmark?
Well, I'm just saying, it's like you go like, I don't know, anywhere from 10 to 25 minutes a game, probably, if you know, once you get the hang of it.
So you're saying you spend 25 minutes on the toilet playing the whole game?
I can sometimes. I've spent
We just saw a statistic, Charnay and I were watching a YouTube show, and it said that it was how toilets are made. And they said that women on average spend more time on the toilet than men. Now,
Cheyenne would passionately disagree.
Well, I have to preface this because do they include all the time that the women have to do number one on the toilet as well? Because that's not fair. I don't think it's a fair assessment. Because I think they have to clarify: do men or women spend more time on the toilet doing number two? Because that's it's common denominator, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know any guy that stands and does number two.
That'd be difficult. You need like a have you seen like a bedpan or a funnel.
Have you seen that one image of how people use public bathrooms at gas stations, and the guy's braced between the wall and the thing? Because it's true, some of the most horrific things you see are in a public bathroom at a rest stop or at a gas station.
Yeah,
they're just horrible.
There's been a lot of times where I just decide I'm gonna hold it and just wait until.
I gotta tell you this. So I went to this coffee shop that I absolutely loved in Kentucky, and I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to give them bad press because it was a great coffee shop. There were. I'm not going to say it was a Christian coffee shop, but it was just there were a lot of Christians in there. Almost every time I was in there, there was a pastor or somebody working on their sermon or getting ready for stuff. It was just a really nice, well done, clean cut coffee shop, and someone must have taken umbrage with this coffee shop at some point because the only time I ever went in there that had a messed up bathroom. Now I went there quite often when I was in Kentucky, and the one time I went in there to use the bathroom, and I was like, at first I was appalled. But then I kind of had to chuckle.
So was it like specifically a Christian?
Coffee shop? No, it wasn't. But okay. It was just. It was.
I was just saying they're being a bad witness.
No,
they destroyed their testimony.
I'm just saying this.
Bad witness.
This coffee shop was great, and I felt bad for them because this person, whoever did this, was completely 100% in the wrong. It literally doesn't reflect anything on the coffee shop because they immediately went in and fixed all the problems.
You also told them?
I had to because what had happened was I went in the coffee shop, I went in the bathroom. And I was in the stall, and I looked, and I just stood there with I had my bag because I don't like to leave my laptop out there. You know,
you bring your bag in with you.
Well, if I have my laptop, that's that I still owe like $500 on, I'm not going to leave it.
I see.
So I walked in with my Mission Alaska bag, I opened the stall, and I stopped, and I just was like, huh. Somebody had done their business, left it in the toilet, wiped, and then dipped the toilet paper in the water, used toilet paper in the water, and splattered it up against the wall.
They're like, I hate this place.
I guess. And they had done that several times, so there was like four or five big splotched used toilet paper splotched up, like thrown. You could see it would like exploded. So they like dipped it, took a step back to the other side of the stall, and was like, huh.
So they essentially did the most disgusting TP job,
I guess,
ever.
But I was just like,
it's gross.
It's just gross. That's up there.
That's a hate crime.
That's up there with probably the top 5 worst things.
That's like a terrorist attack.
Of course, you always see the people who decide not to flush for some reason. It works perfectly fine. They just don't push the flusher. I mean, how do you forget that? You've been trained from a kid.
I bet there's
flush when you stand up.
I bet there's some people that are so proud of their poo that they'll leave it for other people to like
admire.
Be like, no, I wasn't gonna say.
Who goes in there and be like, that last guy, he's my hero. Who's gonna do that?
You'd be surprised. There's a website, okay?
No, there's not.
Yes, there is.
No, there's not.
Listen,
I don't believe.
I learned this when I was in Master's Commission.
No.
Check it out. There's a website.
You're giving Master's Commission a bad name now.
It's not their fault. It was one of the first
I didn't learn
years.
anything in Masters, but what I did learn is there's a website where you can look at people's poop.
It's called ratemypoo.com.
No. Don't now people are gonna if there is one person who goes to that website because of this, we're gonna just delete.
I'm just saying. I've never been on that website ever. I've never been.
How do you know it exists?
Because they told me.
So you believe somebody who told you there was a website out there?
Well, I mean, I'm not. It's not. It's not that hard to believe. It's not that inconceivable. And people take pictures of their dumps and they rate them. And
do you think Facebook would censor that out?
I don't think so.
You'll have to see.
They might do that. They might do that. This photo contains graphic
Joshua
images.
Nemus is on Facebook. Friend him, and you might see what happens in the next couple weeks or months. However long, depending on how long this quarantine lasts, things might get interesting on the Joshua Nemus Facebook page.
And it might have like the whole like click this button to unveil. You know how they do? They blur it for graphic content.
If it was like, look at my beautiful boy, my firstborn son, and then you're scrolling next photo. Look what I did in the toilet yesterday.
It says almost as big as my firstborn son. The comparison is uncanny.
Oh my gosh!
In size and weight, not in looks.
Oh man!
So yeah, and
so
then,
how did we get from Polytopia to there?
I tried to talk about Polytopia, but you just wanted to keep talking about Mr. Crap.
No,
and then we went into toilets, and then now we're talking about poopy stuff. That's just how it happened. Another one. Hang on.
Wait, you got to explain Polytopia.
I did. It's just a strategy game.
Okay.
So you have little dudes. And they're like different. You have different types of soldiers and different types of technologies that you can research, and then they fight each other. And then you expand your empire. You take over everybody else, wipe everybody else out. It's pretty fun. It doesn't take very long to learn, and if you can't figure it out within like a half an hour, then you should probably just delete the app and give up on it because it's pretty simple. So.
Dan likes it.
Pastor Dan?
Yeah.
Good.
So I introduced him to it. He called me and we talked about strategy. Charlie was upset. She was like, you talked to Dan for like a half an hour about that stupid game.
Mm-hmm. So it seems like almost every episode I say something where revolving around the COVID-19 pandemic. And I'm not gonna say anything like hopefully super insensitive this time. But another game that I've been playing.
No.
Another app.
No.
What?
Don't go there.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know what you're talking about. Unless you found another more morbid disaster game.
It's an older game. It's been out for a while, but I got back into Plague Inc. And it's another strategy game. And you basically, it's basically what the name implies. You create you have different types. There's bacteria, virus, parasite, fungus, nanovirus, prion. I don't know how I think it's prion. And you mutate it, and it's a strategy game. It's pretty fun. But But it's not just diseases, okay?
The goal of the game is to use a virus
Wipe out
to kill
humanity.
everybody on Earth.
To wipe out humanity. And the
Tells
the
you what
game,
kind of frame of mind these people have.
the system, like the game you're playing against, the people, like the countries and like the system will start developing a cure. And
the humans.
and it'll adapt to
You'll try to survive.
And it'll adapt to your strain. And then
you have to stop them from surviving.
Okay, now listen. They also have other ones on there. Okay, it's not just diseases. But yeah, so I got into that one, and Cheyenne and I actually watched Contagion the night before last night while I was playing Plague. I'm sorry. Okay.
While you were laughing at sick people.
I wasn't laughing at sick people.
No, I mean, just it would go along with it.
No.
Is if you're playing Plague Inc., you're watching Contagion, and then she's scrolling through and being like, look at this sick person. You're it's just morbid. I can't. Well. What nice, happy, encouraging, productive apps do you have on your phone?
I downloaded SoundCloud because I haven't had it before, and Cody Pratt made a really cool new song.
Cody Pratt did make a cool song.
You hear that, Cody? I downloaded SoundCloud for you specifically.
And he showed me on his phone, but I didn't download it because I didn't know what it was on. But he showed me the song, which was cool.
Another app I've been spending a lot of time on is Nerds.
Oh.
It's just a card game. It's like solitary, but everybody kind of throws in their cards in the middle, and you got to go off of somebody else's card, and the first person to get rid of all their cards wins. It's pretty fun. But that's not very productive. You said a productive app, right?
No, I just said anything that doesn't involve slaying all of humanity.
Let's see. I don't use my Fitbit anymore. Mostly I've just been like using my weather app to keep up on the weather, because
it's not fun anymore though, because before it'd be like, it's 53 below still.
Well, no, it's giving me hope every day I look, and it's
What's
not 0 or colder. It's loading.
It's not 21. It's about that.
28.
Oh, not much. It must have been warmer earlier. The snow was dripping off the
yes, and so looking at the weather app gives me hope every day. And also, I have like 5 email accounts linked in on my Gmail app, so I check all my emails regularly. Make sure that I'm up to date on all of that stuff. And I also have this cool app that lets me go into my router, which I need to do pretty much once a day now. My router, and
I don't think you're actually accomplishing anything when you go into that app, though. You hope that, like, same thing with me. I log into the modem when things aren't going fast enough, and I'm like, what's going on? The
only thing the Linksys app tells me is that it's online or it's offline. So the only thing it's telling me is whether or not Lucas or somebody unplugged the cord over in his bedroom. So
that's
the only thing it tells me.
Let me break it down for you real quick. So we have a 1 megabyte internet connection out here in the bush, in the village. It's pretty expensive. We all pay into it to make that monthly bill happen. We have a modem that can only really handle like 200 simultaneous internet connections, which you think that's a lot, but the average website can take up to like 26 simultaneous sessions up. So Facebook might take 30. Imagine it like every little advertisement on the side of your Facebook page is using up a simultaneous session on your modem. And so all the Facebook ads, plus people's content, plus the Facebook, all the little pieces of the components of the website using a session. Now imagine 4 people surfing on a device, and if each device has all the background app refresh stuff turned off and everything, and you're only using the internet for what you have in front of you, that's over easily for 4 people surfing 4 different websites on 4 different devices. That's easily 150 or more simultaneous sessions connecting to that modem. One more, like a YouTube being played on a TV, or if somebody has multiple, if they're surfing Safari and they have more than one window open simultaneously. Has that ever happened? I mean, how many you got on your Safari?
This is Amazon, but I have Amazon. Oh no, I have messages and notes, but we do have Xbox 360. We connect to Xbox Live. Apple TV can be plugged in.
If I'm on my computer and I have my email open and I open Facebook, I mean, I could be using up to 50 connections for just myself with a couple tabs open. So 200 connections is not that much. To put that in perspective, the newer kind of modems that they make that we want to get, it's $3,500 for the new satellite equipment. much cheaper per month and up to 5 megabytes, which is 5 times faster than what we're using. The lower end modem that they sell allows 2,500 simultaneous sessions. And the next size modem up from that, which is $4,700, allows 7,500 simultaneous sessions. And it uses a completely
sounds like a dream.
It uses a new satellite system. KU band satellites were probably all the rage in the 90s and early 2000s. That's kind of what we're using. And it's on its end of life. They're not launching any more KU satellites. They're not making anything new for KU band. It's all KA now, which is the you've heard of HughesNet Next Gen 5 that gives you up to 15 megabytes a second screaming internet.
Megabytes per second.
So we're not. No, well,
that's not that fast compared to fiber optic.
It is because
like
even the lower 48, $100 connection per month can be up to 30 megabytes per second. But then, gigabytes per second are for like wireless routers. But I don't know of anybody that has I know people paying $200 or more a month for internet in the lower 48 states with fiber optic, and I don't know of anybody getting even half a gig.
A gigabit per second?
Yeah. Download speeds? That's kind of unheard of. I know like 50 megabytes a second is pretty fast.
Yeah, it is.
I can't think of any. What would you do with a gigabyte? Like you open your computer, and as you're drinking your coffee, everything you're about to click in the next 15 minutes or so opens up before you touch it.
This is what I want, okay? I want to open my laptop or my device. I want to click on a movie, and I want to download that movie, but like I want it to be this fast. Like I'm going, okay, here we go. Oh, download. And I want to go. I got a little water on my face. It's done. Boom. 15 gigs. Done. Downloaded. High definition. Blu-ray. 1020p.
1020p? What about 4K?
Or is it 1040p?
What about 4K?
No, it's 5K. It's 6K now. And it's boom.
Boom. Thumbs up from me.
Boom.
That would be the good internet. No.
Instant.
So we had that modem. And from that modem, it goes hardlined to my computer in the office, which is good for when we want to do Zoom meetings. We just did one the other day with the network office for the Assemblies of God, and then we disconnect everything except for that hard line, so we can use up all of the 1 megabyte that we have to do a Zoom meeting. Then we have another cable going to our wireless router, which gives wireless over at the house. But the church is too far away from the house and the church office to get wireless over here. So we used a nano fiber wireless beam spot.
We used the Ubiquiti Nano Beam it's the 5AC Gen 2.
Okay. So we used a nano beam thing, which is
from Ubiquiti.
Basically a little tiny round dish that broadcasts internet line of sight, and so that's what
up to like several miles.
Yeah, but we only have it 300 feet.
Yeah.
But we're going from my 9-year-old son's bedroom, from his window. We had to run a cable up through the wall to the second story, up through the second story wall, and into the attic. And then Josh crawled up in the attic and ran the cable over to my son's bedroom, and then down into his bedroom and up against the window for the spot beam thing. And then we put the other spot beam over here at the apartment in the church. And then we wired it in to another wireless router.
So now here. We're running two separate networks on internet. One internet
over here
thing.
And so I say all that and explain all that to say that when we upload or we talk about Facebook or stuff like that or apps on our phone, a lot of people will jump on there and I'll get a lot of comments like, "Oh, hey, why don't you use this web-based doodly-doodly-doo?" And I'm like, well, that web-based doodly-doodly-doo it's web-based, uses the internet. We've had a lot of problems with that. Like, we've actually, my wife is seriously considering like moving back to like Excel spreadsheets and actual physical.
Because of QuickBooks.
Hardcover like logbooks for finances because
QuickBooks takes a long time to load if it even does.
Yeah, it went everything online, and so you'll go to enter in like an entry into your QuickBooks account, and it's like you click add entry, click.
Go downstairs, make some food, come back up. It might be done.
And waiting for it to bring up the window where you can add an entry. And if you have to enter 50 entries or something for that
So-
month, it's like my wife will be there like 12 hours.
Yeah.
And most of that was just waiting for the
With
internet.
this nano beam too, like we set all this stuff up, spend like all of these settings, getting everything mounted, gonna get the internet from the house. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah.
And it did. It worked great.
And when
originally.
we're at like optimal performance, we're getting 1 to 1.5 megabits per second.
Yeah, well, that's
and that's good. That's great.
yeah,
That's as fast as they can get it over
1.5
there.
is half a megabyte faster than what we're paying for.
I say when we have that speed, I say we're screaming and streaming, because you can watch Amazon Prime Video, you can load YouTube, you do like watch Facebook videos. 50 years from now, at the rate we're going,
my gosh, 50
they're
years
going
from
to
now,
have.
They're gonna laugh at us.
Yeah, they're going to. Okay, so I looked this up because I couldn't remember the order of how it goes, but about the different types of bites, like data
Like
size.
shark bites and like mosquito bites and
I should have been more specific. That was my fault.
the different kinds of bites.
So yeah, you have a megabyte, right? And we know that that's so a kilobyte is 1,000 bytes, right? And
which is
then
a lot of bytes.
It is, right? And then a megabyte is 1,000 kilobytes, and your average song is probably anywhere between
3 to 7.
2 to 5, 3 to
Now
7
it's like
megabytes.
it's grown quite a bit.
So that's like your standard song that you downloaded, and most people know this already. But then you get 1,000 megabytes, right? And then you're looking at a gigabyte, and we're like, ooh,
a
up here,
gigabyte.
okay. And a lot of places where there's heavily populated areas, and you have fiber optic internet and high speed LTE, all that stuff. Even gigabytes, you're like, okay, yeah, no, it's not a big deal. Up here, gigabytes, that's like, if we see anything past a gig, we're like, forget about it.
Forget about
We're
it.
not doing it. And then 1,000 gigabytes is a terabyte.
Terabyte,
right?
That's terrifying for us up here.
And then 1,000 terabytes is, I believe it's I think it's a petabyte. And then 1,000 petabytes is an exabyte, and then you have zettabyte.
Well, when you get a petabyte, you have to call animal control.
Or yottabyte, and then zettabyte.
They have to put the petabyte, the pet that bit down.
So,
is there a Google byte?
A yottabyte is 1,000 zettabytes. So we're talking about like a inordinate amount, a ridiculous amount.
Wait a minute. So back up the show. So wait, so you have 1 byte, and you add 3 zeros, and you have a kilobyte, right?
Yes.
And then so you have a kilobyte, and then you add 3 zeros, which is a megabyte.
Mm-hmm.
A megabyte is 1,000,000 bytes. Okay, so then you add 3 zeros, and that's a gigabyte.
Yes,
which is
1 billion bytes.
1 billion bytes, and then 3 zeros gives you a terabyte,
mm-hmm.
which is
a trillion bytes.
Trillion bytes, and then
a petabyte is 1,000 terabytes. So a petabyte.
What's the next one up past a trillion?
It's a quadrillion bits.
And then a zettabyte is 3 more.
I think an exabyte is next. Hang on, let me look here. I believe the exabyte is 1,000 terabytes. Let me make sure that's right here. Yeah, I believe it's the exabyte.
Okay, and then after the exabyte is the what?
After the exabyte is the zettabyte,
which is 3 more zeros, and that's the end.
And then there's a yottabyte, which is 1,000 of those.
What was the petabyte? We missed that.
So, after quadrillion?
No, what was the petabyte?
1,000 terabytes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's true. Okay.
Or 1,000 exabytes.
So 3, 6, 9.
No,
12.
a petabyte is 1,000 terabytes.
Right. 3, 6.
But
9,
what I'm saying
12.
is 50 years from now, they're going to be
21.
Let's not even get into the zetta, exa, and yottabytes. They're going to have like 10 petabit download speeds. And you're going to be able to download like a mainframe computer, like AI system or some artificial intelligence in like 5 seconds on your device. And people are going to say, man, I'm only getting 5 petabytes per second download speed. This is so slow. And then they're going to be wanting more. They're going to want faster speeds. And then people are going to be working and racing and trying to do the next byte up from that. Where does it end? Where does it stop?
Well, here's where it stops. You said how many years from now?
I don't know. I just threw out 50 years.
50.
Maybe less, because...
Okay, realistically, though, 50 years from now, people are going to be, like, farming with, like, primitive tools, and then be like, when I was a boy, we carried around a device in our pocket, and it had a camera. And the grandkids will be like, what's a camera, Grandpa? Well, you could record video.
What's a video?
What's a video, Grandpa? Well, it's, you could film a scene of reality and then rewind time and watch it in a smaller image on your device. And kids
why
would be
would you
like,
want to do that?
Kids would be
Grandma?
like, why? So it's a time travel? You had time travel, Grandpa? No,
Was it for blind people?
It's a recording. It was a recording of time and space.
And then
audio.
they keep asking questions and he's trying to
trying
explain
to figure
it.
out what. How would
then-
you explain?
And then he would be so stressed out he'd have a heart attack.
if you go back in time and try to explain to somebody in like the Stone Age and be like, yeah, like this is what an iPhone is. And this is what an iPhone camera does. You could hold it up like this in front of you, and then everything that takes place within the eye of that device will be saved forever on that device.
Well,
and then you could push it and watch it as if you were holding it up, but you're not.
So it's like this. Well,
it's
no,
a moving window.
you just explained that the
A
camera...
window in time.
It's just like you would explain that the camera is like it's like an invented eye, and everything that your eye sees, you can record what your eyes see through this.
Yeah, but
camera
even that concept of recording, you'd be like, it's this thing is like a brain and it has memory.
You can
And the way
you can
the way
remember what you
the
saw.
way you can close your eyes and remember what that ocean scenery
thing
looked
out.
like. It'll let you do that.
Speaking of inventions, check this thing out. Cheyenne just texted this to me. It's called the
I've seen that.
the Bryson new model
No,
Wing
I've
Flyer
seen that.
exercise stepper scooter.
Okay, I've seen that
with
And
16-inch air tire.
And I've seen another one here. I don't know if it's going to be visible on the camera, but
Let me see.
here I was going to try to make it bigger so that
I can do it.
so it can be seen up there. But they had this. It's a bike that has what is the exercise tool that has that motion? It's not the stair stepper. The stair stepper actually has stairs. It was the gee whiz, I can't even remember what it is. It's an exercise machine that has the steps that you just take and that's those paddles that you push down over and over. And I can't remember the elliptical. No, is it the elliptical?
The
machine?
elliptical, yeah, no,
Anyway.
it's a little different. I think.
Anyways,
than that,
but you move, you roll around with it.
look at that.
It moves you. They have another one, and you're not even going to believe this. It is a treadmill with 4 wheels on the sides, and as you walk on it, it walks you faster, kind of like the moving floor, the moving sidewalk at the airport. So as you're walking around, like on the sidewalk, you're walking on a treadmill, but it's geared to where you're walking like 3 times faster than you're walking, but you're steering with a thing, and you're walking, but you're moving faster than a walk.
Why wouldn't you just ride a bike?
Well, maybe somebody. Okay, I can think of a lot of reasons why someone wouldn't ride a bike. Number one, they might be of the physical attributes that a bike could not support.
Get a
them.
scooter.
Then number
or a
2,
skateboard.
they
or
might-
rollerblades.
they might-
roller skates.
well, what if they had problems where the bike seat? Like, what if they had like issues with their like butt or something where they couldn't like sit down and?
That's
like,
scooters don't have seats. You just scoot with them with your foot and you just roll like.
I'm
just
thinking
roll
if
with it.
somebody is too big for a bike, that the image of them on a scooter trying to.
So was this treadmill thing with 4 wheels? Was it like the size of like a small car?
No, it was just size of a small treadmill. Imagine a shrunken down treadmill with wheels on the side and a steering thing instead of the thing you hold on to. And
So it's like kind of like it's kind of like a hamster wheel where they kind of like go around, but they run in a ball.
It's kind of like the hamster ball. But imagine
I want
now.
one.
Get this. Imagine if a hamster ball was somehow rigged up onto a thing with wheels to where it was geared so when the hamster rolled, it went several times faster than if the ball itself were rolling on the ground.
So people are really going places with this thing then.
Literally going
So
places.
does it have like all terrain tires? Can they go like on trails and stuff?
It would be cool if it had like if it was geared such that you could like go off into like the tundra with it and stuff.
Can you
and
go
just, like,
uphill with it?
dude? What if they made it so you could go off road and it would be like you're on this like thick, craggly, gravelly, like Martian rover type atmosphere,
Craggly,
but
gravelly.
you're walking on a smooth surface as if you're walking on a sidewalk,
How much time do we got left?
and you're like walking in nature, and You know, that'd be cool. So you could just like walk like you're. Have you ever been walking or hiking and the terrain is like tough and you like twist an ankle or you know you got those. Remember the tundra things where we walk when we go moose hunting, where there's those stupid tufts of grass and then in between them there's like
Yeah, it's like
and
that
if
muskeg.
and if you step right on the tundra, sometimes it rolls or like slides off the horrible terrain.
Yeah.
Imagine just driving one of these things and you're walking on flat surface and it just.
Yes, I'm getting sold on
You're
it.
visualizing it now, aren't you?
I do like
You can
it.
see
Take
it
it
in
out
your
hunting. Just
Can
you imagine
when
us
you get a
hunting
moose,
with
just
that?
attach put a chain around the moose's neck and attach the back part to it, and then just
Yeah, right. You'd be walking on the treadmill, but you wouldn't be going anywhere. It would just be spinning.
It's just spinning in place. Come on.
You're not pulling a moose with that thing. I don't care how big it is. We only have a little bit of time left too, and we had so many other cool ideas for inventions. Right? We talked about the tempo suit. You came up with the name. I had the idea.
Josh had the idea for the tempo suit, and the tempo suit would
It has nothing to do with keeping tempo with rhythm, although that would be cool too.
Well, then shouldn't it be tempera suit?
Tempera suit?
That doesn't sound as good though.
No, temp suit sounds good.
Or-
No, because then it's just like you're a temp, like an intern, and you're wearing a suit. Well, then that just means like warm, like
thermo suit.
But it'll keep you cool.
No,
too.
like if you put like that, if you put hot liquid in it, it stays hot. If you put iced tea in it, it stays cold.
So hydro suit?
No, that means it would be wet. Like you peed in it. It didn't. It has nowhere to go. No,
Thermosuit's good.
The thermosuit, and it regulates temperature. They have it. I mean, it's nothing new.
But what we want to do is streamline it.
It'd be
to
like a
make it
scaled
more
down version for
accessible
the
to
average
public.
consumer. The astronauts have it. It's what they use in the spacesuits. So
we want to make it this thing that's so simple that you could go over to like Cabela's or Sportsman's and buy one of these things for like $800.
It's like LCG or something. Then it's a liquid cool garment or liquid something. It has basically they put it on before they put.
Does
the
it have a
spacesuit
gel
on.
layer like Master Chief's armor?
No, they
like
put
his
it on
suit?
before they put the spacesuit on, and then it has a thing where these ports plug in, and it has like our church's heating system. It has fluid, an in and an out, that fluid that runs through the entire suit, and I guess it has zones and stuff. And then it has
sounds bulky though.
built into the built into the spacesuit regulates the temperature of that water. So if
I want something that's like it's not necessarily like elastic because that's not very flattering on people, but like something where it's like
Spanx,
where it's like sleek and it's like it just.
Wait, I just gave a
slim
new
fit.
name.
Oh no, Thermo Spanx.
Thermo Spanx with an X. And on that note, we're gonna sign off for episode 3
quarantine edition
of season 2 of the J&J Show.
It's finger licking good.